But first, before I do, I want to show you something on Minnesota, like the front pair straight. So if you go to 7 years, which I like that time period, you go to last times drawn, you notice the first digit, that's what you're looking at. You're not looking at the pairs, all right? You're looking at the times drawn. Look at 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There's going to be a 3. This is what I watch for in Minnesota, threes. Whatever state you're in, different time periods will show different things, but the 3 is what I like. Because I know when there's a space when I know there's a gap, I know there's going to be a 3. And if you think there's going to be a 3, just go over here, look at just the 29 and up. That's going to turn to a 3, which is like a way less numbers. So you just look at these. And if you have a key on the front, if key A is showing something, which it is, like watch this, 2, 6 right there. Let's see, I think there's one more here in the 30s. I thought there was another one in the 30s. Here you go, 29, because I can turn to a 30. So 2, 2, 0. Because you'll notice if I go to the chances for Minnesota, now this would be a good one for tomorrow. I missed tonight's because I'm still going for this 2, which pissed me off because I've been waiting for this 2 forever. And you'll notice, look at the 2. It's been out for 58 draws on the front. That's going to hit. So I'm going for that. And it drastically reduces my numbers right off the bat. So, but if I think it's going to be a 30, which I do think a 30 is due on the front, right? And the times drawn, now I just look at these. So that leaves me with only 2, 6 and 2, 0. So tomorrow, that's what I'm going to focus on, 2, 6 and 2, 0 for Minnesota. It could be another 20, or it could be a teen or whatever, if you look at this, but there's a good chance. I know from doing this for like 9, 10 months that I have time periods that work really well. I have time periods actually that are really good together too. Like I do one with Minnesota and Wisconsin together. I think it's like March 1st, 2006 until present. And a 70 pops up constantly, like every other day. And I've got wins off that too. So, but let me show you this here. So we're going to do this right now. This is what I do. So we're going to get rid of the Minnesota here. We're going to do this live for tonight. I'm trying to get a win tonight in Wisconsin here. So watch. The first thing I do is I go to any box position and I go to all available history. This is important to do all available history for any position. Now I go to last seen and you'll notice something. Again, times drawn. Just look at the first digit. 6, 6, 6. 2, 5, 6, 5, 6, 6. 6 happens all the time. Well, obviously it's going to because it's the most of times that they're drawn, the highest one drawn, right? But that's what I'm looking at. Remember now, 2s and 3s are going to be doubles, but I'm mainly focusing on a 6 because it happens almost literally every day. Not every day, but it's like 90% of the time. So what I do is I go to the total times drawn, and I copy just the 38, the top one, all the way through, I go through right here, 600. So I get rid of all of these, and I copy this because there's a great chance that tonight there's going to be a 6, right? And I already did this earlier. So I put this into the slasher, and so I get rid of this here. Sorry, I'm like I said, I go to all 3 different sites here. So what I do is I'll go to boxed, and I'll add that, and then, oops, I'm sorry. You can't do that. I realize that gives you super low numbers and you're like super excited, but yeah, it don't work like that. I've been burned already. Thank you, Mike, for helping me on that one. So what I do is I'll do all numbers, and then I'll go down to not pairs A, B, because we're doing boxed. I'll do pairs boxed, okay? So then I'll do add pairs boxed, and then I actually have it saved somewhere right here, actually. So I saved it from Lottery Post, and I copy the 38 through 27, which is the 6s, remember? 6s on the front. And then I go and I put this, I'm trying to make this video as fast as I can, and then I drop this in here, and I drop this in here, clean it up, and now I'm going to slash the numbers, and we're down to, just by doing this alone, we're already down to, took off almost 100 numbers. Now that's not a lot, right? Because watch, if you just do that, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do the AB, the BC, and the AC, okay? So what you do is I clear this out, I put it in here, and then I'm going to compress it, You have to do that, otherwise it just, because it goes by position A, B, and C. So you have to do that. So then I copy that. Okay, but first, normally what I do is I do AB boxed, BC boxed, and AC boxed. And then what I do is I go over to this again, to the, back to lottery post, and now watch this. You go to front pair boxed, and then you do I go very conservative. I know this is actually too conservative because you can do like 10 days, 30 days, and you're typically going to still see a 1. What we're looking for, go to last scene, you're looking for a 0 turning to a 1, which is these. Remember, these are the zeros. They're going to turn to a 1. And this time period obviously likes the 1. Every now and then a 2 is going to drop, so you might get screwed sometimes. But most of the time, it's going to be a 0 turning to a 1. So what I do is I copy all of these numbers up here, and I'll copy those, and then I'll go and put them over here. I'll do the same thing for B and C. And sometimes, you know, 10 days out or 20 days out will be really showing me something. It'll show me like a 2, 2, 2, 3, you know, like I know that a 1's going to drop. And then it will give me a lot less numbers up here. And then I'll do that. But for the most part, I'm just trying to be conservative with my numbers and not waste my money all the time. So I'll normally drop in the AB box, the BC box, and all that stuff. And it's going to give me, and then I'll compress it and bring it over here and compress it, and it'll be like way up here. It'll be like hardly, normally it's about 140 numbers, 150 numbers. And then I'll take that over to lottery post, and then instead of doing lotto odds, instead of doing box numbers or 1,000 numbers, I put in my own numbers here, which I just did, which I just showed you. But I look at 181 numbers out of 220 already, and I didn't do the AB box, I didn't do the BC or the AC. All I did was the all-time. Remember, all I did was the all-time, and then I did the 6s on the front of that. Remember? I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk so fast on this to get this in. Look at that. But normally when you do the other things I told you, the AB and the BC, it'll drop it down about 140, 150, and that's super conservative. The winning number is almost always in there, and it drops it down that much. And then what I do, then I'll do some of the awesome stuff that David did over here at Lotto Odds. I'll look at some of the patterns in here. So this is looking at it boxed. You have to do this. You have to switch this thing here. See, this is looking at it boxed now. Okay, this is how it actually fell boxed. And what I do is I look at this, like look at this, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. If you know anything about this, I love all these sites. Absolutely, they're all so valuable to me. And then, oh, look at this. There's another thing here, 3, 3, 3, 3 on the end for his system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately go down here, and I'm going to go to the 1, 2, 3 pattern, and I'm getting rid of the 3s on the end. I normally break it down a lot more than this, but that's what I'm doing. I'm already down to 137 for numbers. I'll do the lowest winning digit because I learned from David that almost all the time, and it's true because I have a picture. Look at that. All the blue is when a 0 through a 3 hits. It's constant. So I'm gonna do that. Now we're down to 104 numbers, and then what I just say, this, I said the back pair, I said the 2-1 probably won't hit. Now we're down to 83 numbers, and that 2-1, from what I know, probably will not hit tonight. And actually a 1 probably ain't gonna hit on the end there either, but I'm not gonna go there right now. So then you can break down by this position. Like, watch this. I'll do one more thing real quick. So okay, now instead of sitting here trying to figure this out, what I do is I'll go to Pick 43 website now. I'll go to my inspect folder, and I'll look at this. Now watch this, high-low boxed. On the BC, it's going to be a high-low soon. And if I think it's going to be a high-low soon, I go over here, okay, and I go to the highs and lows, and I'm going to get rid of anything without a high-low on the end. So I'm keeping that. That's gone. That's gone. That's keeper. That's gone. That's gone. Those are both keepers because there's a low high on the end. And now because I did my own numbers, it keeps it as though it's straight, but it's boxed, so it actually still continued. Like if I get rid of low high low, you know, and high low low, or not, see, it still has the low high low in here, even though I got rid of high low low. But it keeps the ones on the end like I want it. This is valuable because look, we're at 37 numbers, and I didn't even do half the stuff I do. So I'm hoping to get a win tonight doing this, but the major thing here is this. There's so much you can do with this combination analysis thing. It's just absolutely amazing. The time periods. I should do another video on some of and slow it down a little bit what I do with the time periods, because I constantly get